Well, we know that the entire world hates Israel. That's pretty obvious. So they absolutely need an ally in this fight. I mean, let's not forget what Hamas even means, right? The Hebrew for Hamas is violence.
Yeah.
They are a violent organization. That's what they're built on. That's why they are called Hamas. But as far as Trump goes, as far as the Israeli people go, they are absolutely looking for somebody to stand for them on a world scale.
Almost anybody, right?
Yeah, almost anybody, right? And here comes Trump. Let's just think 2 years ago, the administration that was there and the potential administration that was to come if Trump was not to come in. Would this have happened?
No.
I mean, we can answer that question with certainty. You know, me and you both are not in the business of speculating, but we can certainly say that this would not have happened if
under Kamala.
Yeah,
it would not have happened.
It would not have happened under Kamala. But here we are 2 years later, and Trump has made it his mission to really get those hostages released and to make an end to this, right? To bring peace to the Middle East. And that's what he wants another feather in his cap, and he just got one by getting these hostages released. And I'm thankful that these hostages are released, but we certainly must not forget what is done. You know, we as humans, we have a very short attention span. Number one, but also memory span, memory too, right? You know, let's not forget what happened on October the 7th. I mean, I was watching you guys on October the 7th at the conference, right? And I remember you stopped everything. Everybody, y'all stopped the conference that was going to happen that time, and y'all brought in Bill Salas and Bill Koenig, and y'all did a special program just because of that. Let's not forget that day, because that was a horrible day in our history, not just in Israeli history, Jewish history, but in world history, one that'll never be forgotten. So let's not downplay the seriousness of that, but let's also not really downplay the excitement that was seen last night, because I got a message notification last night. TV show went live, and you see the excitement of those people an hour leading up to the hostages being released, and there was joy. Whereas 2 years ago, it was nothing but grief. And of course, there was some grief that was still there today, because a few of them were returned and they had passed, of course. But we definitely, we see where Trump is trying to, in my opinion, get feathers in his cap. I don't know if his motives are sincere in that aspect.
Yeah. And, you know, we've had a lot of discussion, and I know that conservatives, sometimes even Christians, can be very sensitive about criticism of Trump. And many of them will react because, for whatever reason. And so I have learned through my life that I don't endorse any human being because every human being is going to fail you. The only one that we endorse fully is the Lord Jesus Christ, for sure.
Amen.
And so in that regard, what you see, Trump, there's no doubt he has been talking and promoting himself as the peace president. And again, I'm not saying that he's not correct, because he's definitely been on a mission. Whether it's in Africa, he did some stuff there. He's trying, of course, with Putin and Ukraine. I don't think there's been any world leader in 2025 that has attempted, at least, to insert himself and the power of the United States into these situations and been creative in order to trying to stop conflict. And that's to his credit. I mean, why wouldn't you insert yourself? And again, when you're dealing with individuals and countries and personality types, again, like Putin, for example, or even Zelensky, they have their own personality types. And of course, Trump has his own, very aggressive personality type. Sometimes it's successful, and other times it's not. There's a lot of things at stake. But the fact of the matter is, Trump absolutely deserves credit for this. And the one thing about the Nobel Prize is that the deadline, he was trying to get this in a hurry because he wanted to get it done before the deadline. And I think whatever the deadline came where they had to make the decision, you could say, well, if he would have done it before, would they have still given it to him? Maybe, maybe not. But now they said, well, he didn't get it done before the deadline. It was like, what, 48 hours or 24 hours or something? So, but let's talk about that aspect and this phraseology that we're hearing about everlasting peace, and just overall, kind of what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I heard on the Fox News this morning, somebody sent me a link, and one of the questions was asked about Trump bringing everlasting peace to the Middle East. And that statement really just blew my mind. And I know that's been a lot of discussion over the past few weeks as we lead up to this moment of these hostages being released. Is this going to bring an everlasting peace to the Middle East? And you and I both know that when you're dealing with Hamas, when you're dealing with a Qatari-funded terrorist organization, they're not going to honor this peace plan or this peace deal or whatever. They can't. It's not in their DNA,
nope.
Right? They're of their father, who is Satan. Mm-hmm. And what is Satan's primary end game is to destroy the Jews. Right? He tried that with Jesus. He went and tried to kill every firstborn male child under the age of 2, or under every male child under the age of 2. It didn't work out for him. Jesus was still born, and he tried to defeat him on the cross. Did that work for him? Of course not, it didn't. Jesus rose from the dead. He's still trying that these days. He's just trying to kill as many Jews as he can to fulfill his end game. So, and right now he's using Hamas. Hamas are just pawns in this game that Satan is playing, in his game of chess, right? They're not going to abide by this peace plan. And Trump himself, yes, great. I am absolutely thankful for what Trump has done in this aspect of it. So I don't want anybody to think that we're downplaying Trump's position in this. I mean, I'm certain that the families of the hostages are just excited that Trump was able to get in and get elected and make this happen. When it comes to an everlasting peace, though, there's only one that's going to bring an everlasting peace to the Middle East, which is going to be an everlasting peace to the entire world, actually, and that's Jesus Christ. And we see that in Isaiah 9. But we see a lot of false peace leading up to that. We see a lot of deceptive peace leading up to that time frame, and I think that this is just another one of those false pieces. This is another one of those deceptive pieces that we see during today.